Hello, just wanted to go over the Chapter 14 checkpoint exercises. First one we'll look at is 14.1 on page 347. And what it does gives us some information here. We'll briefly look at it. Gives us Lee, who's a computer programmer, earned $35,000 in salary in 2010, but the next year decided to start making his own bodyboards. After working 2011 in this business, he provides some information to his accountant. And it lists out all his information. I'm not going to read each one to you, but we'll be going over them as we answer the questions. So given the information above, it wants us to calculate the explicit, implicit, and economic profit. So what I did is just kind of made some columns here for explicit and implicit costs. So the explicit we'll look at first. And again, these are the costs that are directly paid out. And these would include materials, phone, and utilities, $50,000. Lease machine, $10,000. Wages, $15,000. And then bank interest, which is 40,000 times the interest rate of 0.1, is 4,000. So our total explicit costs then would be 79,000. Now the implicit costs, the opportunity costs are first foregone wages, the 35,000 that he could have made in his programming job, the rent that he would have made had he not stopped renting out his cottage and using it for a factory. The depreciation on the cottage is a negative as far as implicit costs go. So if there's 1,000 depreciation, that would show as a negative. The foregone interest that you pull the money out to help finance your business, you could have earned interest in that had you kept it in. So that would be an implicit cost. That is 10,000 times 0.05 interest rate, gives us $500. Then the last item is the normal profit of 25,000. So we add all those up and we get $63,000 in implicit costs. Okay, so got our explicit 79, implicit 63. Their economic profit would be our revenue less our explicit costs less our implicit costs, gives us an economic profit of 18,000. Okay. So look through that one. Then next we'll look at 14.2, and that is on page 354. And what we are given here is a farmer who leases the land to grow pineapples. And then he hires students to pick and pack the pineapples. And then it gives us a table with the number of students and the total product, which is the same thing as output of pineapples per day. Okay, first thing it wants to do is calculate the marginal product of the third student and the average product of 3 students. Okay, so first we'll look at the marginal product of the third student. And the way we look at that is we have to look at the marginal as a change. So we got to look at the difference between the third student, which was 300 output, and the second student, the prior one, which is 220. So the difference between the two is the marginal product of the third, adding the third student. So 300 less 220 gives us 80, which would be our marginal product. Now the average product of the third student would be the total product divided by the number of students. So the average product would be 300 divided by 3, which is 100. Secondly, asks, over what range of numbers of students does marginal product increase? So to figure this out, we had to set up a little table here. And again, we were given labor and total product. And then I inserted in the marginal product here, column. Marginal product 0 to 100 is 100, 100 to 220 is 120, 220 to 300 is 80, and so forth. That's how we got a marginal. So what it's asking is what range of numbers does this marginal product increase? So it went from 0 to 100, so that's an increase. 100 to 120 is an increase. 120 to 80 is decrease, and these all decrease. So it just increased over the labor range of 1 to 2. So that would be your answers to number 2, 1 to 2. Number 3 asks, when marginal product increases, is average product greater than, less than, or equal to marginal product? Okay. So we know the range that it increases from the prior section is 1 to 2. And just put in those two sections here. So the marginal product here is increasing 100 to 200 and 100 to 110. And at a labor level of 1, marginal product equals average product. And at a labor of 2, marginal product is greater than average product. Okay, so that's 14.2. Next, we'll look at 14.3, and that'll be the last one for this chapter. And this is on page 362. Okay, got a similar example here of a farmer leasing a field to grow pineapples. And we are going to be calculating some little bit different numbers using the exact same example. So the way I set this up is we are given the land lease is $120 a day, the capital lease is $80 a day, and the wages are $100 per day per student. Okay, so let's see what it's asking. It says, what's Tom's total cost and average total cost of 300 pineapples a day? Okay, so what I've done here, just to tell you what I've done in the table, I've taken the table of the labor and output, which are these two, and then I've added in these cost columns here so we can come up with total cost. So for example, at a labor level of 1, total cost would be labor times $100, because 100 per each, plus land lease of 120, plus the capital lease of 100 gives us a total cost of 300, which is right here. Okay, so it's asking what's the total cost and average total cost of 300 pineapples a day. So we move down to 300, and if we filled out our table correctly, our total cost of 300 pineapples would be 500. Okay, and that's where I calculated right here. And the average total cost, it also asks for that. So our average total cost then is your total cost divided by total product. Okay, so that's why I created these last two columns. Marginal product, again, the change in total cost over the change in total product. Okay, and the average total cost is total cost divided by total product. Okay, so need to generate all these columns here, and I've done some math down here to kind of help you figure some of this out. So again, let's look at some of the solutions here. The first one, total cost and average total cost. We got that. Total cost at 300 is 500 right here, and the average total cost then is 1.67. Okay. Second part, what's the marginal cost of picking a pineapple when the quantity increases from 360 to 400? Okay, so we're looking at this right here from 360 to 400. Get the columns up here. 360 to 400 is what it's asking for right here. What's the marginal cost of that? And that would be 250. Which is right here, 360 to 400. The marginal cost then is 250, which we calculated right here. And third, it asks what output is Tom's average total cost at minimum. Again, we'll look at our average total cost column, and again, this is total cost divided by total product. And I did one, for example, here at the very last one at labor of 7. The average total cost would be the total cost, divided by the total product of 430. So 900 divided by 430, which what I did right here is 2.9, is 2.09 is the average total cost, which is this number right here. But after doing the whole table, we see that the lowest number is right here, 1.67. So the average total cost is at a minimum at a 300 output, which is right here. Okay. So that is a brief overview of the checkpoint problems. It's got an explanation of the chapter also. Just kind of want to talk you through it, kind of show you how I set things up. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll post this up on Canvas also, just the PDF file for you to look at. Otherwise, hope you work through this well and have a good day.